These street guys, they're not diaper dandies, baby!
It's the Cranial Mission Show, broadcasting live from ESB Brewing. Ben Charles, Miguel Hito, the C-Squared, Caleb Crispy, the Reverend Joey T, all hanging out here, drinking beers at a brewery here in Tampa. 333 North Falkenberg Road, Sweet Tea, 407.
Ooh,
Hi.
Sweet tea.
There you go. And we've got the lovely Genevieve from behind the bar to pour you one of 10 ESB pints, and Hotbox, the food truck, is here as well if you're hungry. So... yes, Sancho, as you interrupt,
Hey, Felix,
as
flew me
always.
back.
Oh, great. That's a shame.
Yeah, you've been gone a while, man, huh?
Hey, there's this guy giving Lubab his hard time.
Why are you so tan?
I was born that way.
Okay. Oh, no, you just look tanner than usual, though. I don't know.
Now he's in Monte Carlo.
You were in a Monte Carlo or the city?
Monte Carlo, Cristo. Monte Cristo.
No, that's the count.
Gambling?
That's Monte Carlo.
I know, I'm kidding.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I like the sandwich with the raspberry sauce.
All right, that's
What?
okay.
What?
Let's leave it at that. The sandwich
Okay.
with the raspberry sauce.
Oh, okay.
Hey, he's from Bennigan's?
yeah. Okay.
Bennigan's.
Bennigan's.
Yes, those don't exist anymore.
No?
No.
You can't find those anymore. If you think about it, Bennigan's was kind of one of the pioneers of the craft beer movement of the
Yeah, they had the 100
variety. They had the 100 Beer Club.
They used to have that Jamaican Dragon Stout. I used to be one of my favorites.
I used to like going there back in the day when they had the one on 60 over there.
Right,
Yeah, that was
right.
great.
Monte Cristo sandwich, that loaded
I
potato
love the
soup
Monte
with
Cristo.
the rolls.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What if your last name was Iggins? You'll be Bennigan's. Sorry. All right, that was retarded. All right.
Was that supposed to be a joke?
It was God.
That was
That was the
Hey, I
worst-
heard
that was
somebody
the
laugh
worst joke
somewhere.
ever.
No, there's been worse. I know I've told worse.
It's
on the
worse than
radio
those
show.
Jew jokes that Stacy says.
Whoa!
Hey,
right.
hey.
Let's throw Stacy under the bus.
So
Ben said it's okay though.
So you hate your job, guys. I was teasing this before the break. You hate your job. What would you do to get fired? This guy came up with a new way of doing it, although it wasn't the brightest idea in the world. Caleb,
Talking to me?
I'm setting up your story. Well, I think you're probably texting Stacy right now, but I'm setting up
No,
your story.
my phone went off, and it's
He's just
not
used to you
working.
being really
you know,
long-winded.
This is the Apple conspiracy. They just come out with a new phone,
Yeah.
and I am up to renew my contract and get a new phone. Mine's been working flawlessly.
and they make you use
until
it during the
this-
show a lot.
Oh.
Until this week, all of a sudden, it's just been acting up like crazy.
You got an update.
I got
They
like
sent
3
you a
updates.
special update.
Yeah, they did. I
Yeah.
did. Seriously, it's pissing me off. It doesn't work half the time. But yeah, this guy at a chocolate factory decided he would call in a bomb threat to get fired.
He didn't want to work half
Oh,
the
this
time
is where
either.
my uncle lives in Vermont.
Oh,
Was
yeah?
it a chocolate bomb?
St. Albans, yeah.
Yeah, he it's
Just north of Burlington, about 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
Oh, cool. Yeah, he decided that he didn't want to work anymore, so rather than quit, he'd call in a bomb threat to try to get fired. And
Well, wait a minute. Like he wasn't worried about. Okay, go ahead. I'm going to let you go. Oh, sorry.
well, he was arrested and charged with it. But what I don't understand is I think what he was trying to do is get fired, so maybe he can claim unemployment. But I'm pretty sure you can't claim unemployment. Now, some states are different, but
Vermont, you can.
for committing a crime at work,
No.
No.
For getting fired. You can
yeah.
get
But if you
fired.
commit a crime at work and
no,
get
you're
fired,
just you're just canceled. Period. And
Yeah.
that's
Well,
just
dude, there's
Just-
a million
just-
ways to get fired, but federal law breaking is not a good way. I mean, that's got to
No.
be a federal law, right? I
Why
mean,
don't you just not show
it's
up
like
for
terrorism
work?
or something. But yeah, just don't
Why
show
don't
up for
you
work.
just not show up from work?
I fired a guy for that. It's called job abandonment. Job abandonment.
Right.
Yeah, I let a
Wait,
couple
but
people
look at
go
this.
for
He
that.
got charged with false public alarm, petty larceny, and unlawful mischief. Like,
That's it?
Wouldn't it be something crazy more than that?
Yeah,
you would
That
think.
doesn't sound right. Like,
maybe it's worse if you actually have a bomb. I don't know.
Well, of course,
Maybe
yeah,
he made
but
a chocolate-
making a bomb threat. That's like
Do you remember that story we did about that girl in college who like flunked out and didn't tell her parents and still was there for like a semester?
Oh, yeah.
And they came down and she called a bomb threat in
Right.
because they thought she was going to graduate that year. Don't you remember that story?
Yeah,
That was a
yeah.
good one. Wow, that was pretty. That was really fast thinking.
I'm just wondering if maybe it wasn't a real bomb. Maybe he just had to take a really massive dump, and it was a chocolate bomb.
Chocolate bomb. That's what I asked earlier because it
Yeah.
was at a candy, right?
It was a chocolate factory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said,
Round the corner where the fudge is made. You know what I'm saying?
have you seen that Amy Schumer thing? Milk, lemonade. That's just funny as hell.
Don't still get me started with slide into first when your butt begins to burst, man. I know that song, dude.
Diarrhea.
By heart.
When you're jogging with your buddy and you step in something muddy.
When
That's
you're
a
spackling the
different one.
walls and it's dripping down your balls, diarrhea.
Now, my favorite was, and I never understood it when I was a kid because I never had seen this, but when you're sliding into home and your butt begins to foam. what? That's never happened to me. Does that happen often to people? Foamy butt?
I don't even want to think about that.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. What an idiot.
We joke all the time about Canadian culture, about how nice people are in Canada, and they are. They're super nice in Canada, except present company excluded,
Sorry.
of course. But
Sorry.
but yes, they love to say sorry to everything. And, it's funny because, although I will tell you this, Canadians overall are nice, but from my experience, their cops usually aren't that nice. But in this case, I guess they were a little too nice.
Yeah, well, Mickey, you actually had this story too, I think. So
Yeah.
I'll let you help me out here. But a group of teens wanted to throw a big party, and they posted it all over Facebook that they were going to have a party. And the cops, the Mounties, wrote back and said, we'll be there. We'll bring chips, salsa, and possibly charges for the partygoers that include open liquor for $250, underage drinking $360, littering $250, providing liquor to a minor $1,050, or you can make the smart choice and avoid meeting our officers.
the kids were like, sure, man, whatever, eh? And the RCMP, which is the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, did come, but they brought snacks like Doritos and salsa.
Did they really?
Yeah, it was a chaperoned event held every year. It provides designated drivers. The legal drinking age in Alberta is 18.
Okay.
And it's 19 everywhere else in Canada. So Manitoba is actually 1 year younger. So everybody was cool. They had designated drivers. No one was ticketed. And everyone took photos. There was actually really good photos. It just shows the RCMP picture here, but there was actually a lot of cool photos. Did you see the actual link I sent?
No, I didn't.
It showed the cops with the boxes of chips and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they were like, "Hey, have some chips, eh?"
Well, yeah,
here.
there's a link on this one to the Facebook page where they posted some of the photos.
Oh yeah, the cops
That's
are
pretty cool.
really good. I tell you, at least nobody got shot.
Sounds to me like the cops were getting in the evidence room. We got chips, yo. We're here. You're like, hey.
Oh yeah.
Sounds to me like they don't have a whole lot to do.
Northern Lights.
Otherwise,
up here, huh?
they wouldn't be going to the party and bringing chips to begin with.
I mean, are we paying for that? Well, I guess we're not because it's Canada. But my question is, like, are they on overtime? Are they actually, because these guys probably work a regular shift. Now they're, like, on overtime. They're getting paid. I don't know. I mean,
No, they're on overtime.
Overtime.
but you know what? It's probably good for the community relations.
Yeah.
So they don't have,
Well,
like...
maybe they showed up and said, I'm sorry, and they didn't take pay for it either.
Yeah, you Americans are shooting people, and we're giving them chips and salsa over
Yeah.
here.
I mean,
did they show up in the Dudley Do-Right
it looks like
costume?
it.
Did they show up in the regalia?
I would
know,
think
the
so.
old school uniforms. And my funniest Mountie story. This actually reminds me. When back in the day, I had
Mountie or mounting?
well, actually, in this case, it's both.
Oh, okay, wow.
A bunch of friends came up to visit me when I was living in Toronto. I was getting married at the time.
Say it right.
And Toronto.
Toronto.
And T.O.
Yeah.
And so my sister Samantha, who you all know, she comes up with a couple friends of hers for the wedding. And we had this friend, he was a gay guy, and he was hilarious because he would make fun of himself for being gay. Like, he had a great sense of humor, didn't care. We go to Niagara Falls to all hang out. We're on the Canadian side. And on the Canadian side of Niagara Falls, they have this giant Mountie wooden statue where he's got his hands on his hips like the Superman pose,
Yeah.
So Jaron decides to have us take a picture of him where he bends down, bends over right in front of the Mountie like he's boofing him. And then he makes this like shocked face, and we take a picture. And the appalled looks of all the old people.
I can't even imagine it.
Change.
It's like it was like the sacrilege of Canada.
Yeah,
know?
what year was this?
This was 2000, 2001, 2001. Yeah,
It's a different world back then. No, I don't know, man, but
it was.
that's a funny picture.
It was pre 9/11 back then. Yes.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
different world.
Yeah, I mean, but the mounted police are a big deal up there, right? I mean, they're kind of like our Texas Rangers.
They're
or
the
something,
FBI
right?
of Canada.
Oh, they really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they're even a bigger deal than them.
Yeah, they're basically the
Norris.
FBI.
I don't know that anybody's a bigger deal than Chuck Norris.
Hey,
Chuck Norris is a joke.
What?
Yeah, but his jokes aren't.
I know, right? I said it.
Well, Ben, that's pretty bad what you guys did taking that picture, but apparently it's not as bad as using your left hand to write in preschool.
This story it evoked old memories. And not even memories from my childhood, but prior to our childhood. Because I remember growing up, and when you're figuring out what hand you favor, and you find out that
how'd you learn?
Oh well,
yeah,
puberty.
Yeah, everybody's like baseball. Ben's like, yeah, well,
Like, oh, that feels better. I'll stick with the right hand.
Got better rhythm.
But yeah, I mean, this evokes
Feel the rhyme.
that evokes that old. Those old wives' tales you would hear about how someone that was left-handed was evil, and people were in fact forced to be right-handed because of this belief.
Yeah, my stepmom, they tried to force her when she was younger. She's in her 60s now, and they tried to force her to be right-handed, and she didn't do it. Now she writes all. Nah. Sherry's my girlfriend. Sherry's left-handed.
I'm right.
She has
left-handed.
ink all over her hand all the time from writing across it.
No, she's pretty good. I don't know how she does it. She's very fancy.
I don't write anymore. Does anybody really write anymore?
No.
I mean, when's the last time you actually sat down? You do. You jot down notes. I write like some kind of Sanskrit at work to leave myself a message that I won't forget in case the computer
And then you
goes
can't
down.
read it.
No, I can usually figure it out. I like put a number next to it. It's very much like Charlie from
the Charlie writer?
Yeah, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. There's like a golden eye with like a squirrel next to it.
It's like hieroglyphs.
It means something, dude. Yeah. That means we got a job to do. That's going to cost a lot of money in Arbor Oaks because the tree would be the squirrel. Yes.
So what happened with this teacher? So this teacher says that this kid is evil for being left-handed. What happens? What's the end result of this story?
Well, the Oklahoma mother alleges that the teacher at the preschool told her son to stop writing with his left hand because that's the hand that Satan uses.
What? For what?
I don't know.
Oh, is that
He normally writes left-handed, and she questioned why was he using his right hand. He came home and was using his right hand to do his homework, and his mother asked why. Is there anything that the teacher's ever asked about his hand and things like that? And she said it breaks her heart for him because people actually believe that that's true, and the teacher actually believes that it's true. And they do mention, Ben, in the 17th century that they thought that the devil baptized his followers with his left hand, and there are many references and superstitions to the left-hand side being associated with evil.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Was this is this story something that what happened in the news in 1990? I mean, is this literally today?
Yeah, this story
was
was
whatever, like a week ago. I can't
the
believe
story
it.
was this week.
And what state was this?
This is Oklahoma.
Was it a private school?
It's a preschool, so I don't know how preschools work.
It's funny that it happened in Oklahoma.
I think they're all private, right?
It's funny that it happened in Oklahoma because this is the state that we talked about that was in the news on the show. Because remember, the Satanist group was trying to build a shrine to Satan at City Hall in Oklahoma.
Well, that's why now I understand. It makes perfect sense.
So it's kind of interesting. And of course, they didn't allow them to do that, and they decided to go to another state and try the same thing. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny how all this Satan-related stuff is happening in Oklahoma.
This is a funny joke at the end of this article. They say that the school is quoted saying, "The school is definitely looking into this. We take this very seriously, and we're not just dismissing it." The last line of the article says they should take this seriously. Who knows how many other people are right with their left hand? It could be dozens more.
It could be like half the population.
It's an epidemic.
It's not half.
Is it less, really? Like 40%?
It's probably 20%.
Really?
Yeah, there's not that many people that are left-handed, so...
Well, I mean...
I guess I'm special, then.
Don't you always pass the
you
duchy on
special.
the left-hand side?
I do. Normally.
Great reference.
100%. I don't know what the duchy is, but I passed it. I tell you that much. Yeah.
We actually had that...
Dustmaster blunts.
Oh, okay.
We actually had that on the show back in the day. Remember we used to use that sample?
Nope.
Pass the dodgy on the left-hand side.
Yeah, we used to use that.
What
on
was the
show
name of
all
that
time.
band?
It was a bunch of kids.
Yeah, it was like the first boy band from Latin America.
Yeah.
Menudo.
Menudo.
Boom.
They did that?
Was it Menudo? No, it wasn't Menudo.
No, it was.
No.
You're right. That was
Musical Youth.
Musical Luke. No,
Yeah.
man, quick.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't Menudo.
Pass the Dutch spotty, wash it down the side.
From what I understand, it was all of Bob Marley's illegitimate children. They got them all together in a band. It was amazing.
Oh, that's a tough gong.
And there was a lot of them though.
How many
They
freaking
had to-
Marleys are there? It's crazy. Every time I turn around, there's a new Marley.
Pass the Marley on the left.
Dude, Bob did not stop banging. Dude, do you ever all watch the special on him, dude? He bought when he started getting big. He bought like the governor's ex house, like in the finest part of town, and then moved like 70 people into this like compound, dude. And they just partied there, and all the neighbors were just like, what the hell just
So
happened?
like 35 of them were his concubines, and the other 35 were his illegitimate kids.
I tell you what, every single one of his wives that they talked to was fully aware that he had other wives, and a bunch of
Yeah,
them.
but that's I think the being in the Rastafari, you can kind of take multiple partners.
It's a good religion.
Yeah.
But
But
I'm a big
Speaking
proponent.
of documentaries, you know that new Jake the Snake documentary came out?
No.
The wrestler?
It'll make you cry, dude.
Oh.
It's hardcore. It's